for Wizard Jam, I am making a game. This is Wizard Jam X, and Wizard Jam is a game jam that was started by the Idle Thumbs community maybe 5 years ago, and they've done 10 of them now, and this will be the last Wizard Jam. And that is sad for me, because Wizard Jam is where I got my start. Wizard Jam was the first thing that actually got me to finish any projects, and it's where I sort of got my start as a professional video game developer. Made a couple games of increasing scope over time, and eventually one of them was maybe polished enough. I don't know what the right way is to describe it, but eventually one of them was big enough or well composed enough to convince some people that I could make games professionally. And that game, the game that I made that I think hit that for the first time, was called The Eyes of Cheatin' Hitman, and it was a parody of the Hitman series done. My goal was to do it in the style of a Blendo Games game, like Gravity Bone or 30 Flights of Loving, a Brennan Chung game. I don't know whether or not that succeeded, but there's definitely a lot of there's clearly at least a lot of love for those games in The Eyes of Cheatin' Hitman. So, since I care about sort of the history of Wizard Jam so much, and also the community around it, I'm going to make sure that I make a game for Wizard Jam X, because I've missed quite a few of these jams while I've been working. And I'd like to contribute something to this one. And going along with the fact that this is the last jam and I'm participating in it, not because I necessarily have time right now, but because I'm going to make time, and I want to make something for the people who motivated me to finish projects, but motivated me by encouraging me and providing just the kindest, most supportive community throughout the weeks or months over which the jam sort of builds up and takes place. It's sort of a thank you to all of those people. I want to make something that walks backwards through my feelings about this jam and this community. So, the best way that I can do that with not having the creative or time bandwidth to just make something from scratch that accomplishes those design goals, the best way is to leverage technology or projects that I already have and make something within those. So I make flight sims right now, and I'm making one called Roger Meatball, and it's kind of far along in terms of having a plane and being able to fly a plane around. So if I hit run right now, I can show you that. Weird colors. So here's Roger Meatball. I've got a plane. All of the instruments work in this plane, and there are all sorts of cockpit controls. You can turn the engine on and off. You can put the landing gear up and down. The landing gear is stowed right now. Now the landing gear are going down. Bring them back up. You can go out here and the landing gear are going up right now. So here's the plane. It's fully animated. All of the surfaces articulate. It has a full damage model. You can break your landing gear off when you crash too hard. You can break your propeller. It has an engine, so on the left hand side, as I turn the engine up and down, you see the RPM go up and down. If I bring the engine all the way up into the red zone on the RPM, you'll see the temperature gauge, which is right above it, rise. Whoa, pull up a little bit. So you'll see that it has a roll autopilot, so that blinking light right there is telling me that I can't roll left or right. It's keeping me in a wings level orientation. I can pitch up and down, but this is nice for cruising. What else does it do? All of these gauges work. So airspeed, the center, starting at the top left, you have airspeed, and then the next one is your artificial horizon, which tells you the orientation of your airplane. The one to the right of that is altitude. The altitude gauge is kind of broke right now because I have added in I overheated my engine. So you can see that the temperature of the engine is now in the red zone. So I need to drop my engine speed down, otherwise we're going to keep smoking and blow the engine up. We don't want to do that. A little bit more power. And okay, back to the instruments. So the altitude's kind of broken because I just added something called a shifting origin, which is a thing that you have to do in video games if you want to make really big worlds, which I do because I'm making flight sims. You want to make really big worlds, but you still want all of these tiny details, like in the cockpit, to be nice and clean and clear. So you just saw the altitude bump. That means that I set the origin of the world. I shifted all of the objects in the world around, and that jacks up my altitude calculation right now, so I'll have to fix that. Going down from the altitude, you have a vertical speed gauge, so when I pull up, it says I'm going up. When I push down, it says I'm going down. These are all instruments that would, regular instruments that would be in any plane too. To the left of the vertical speed gauge is a compass. So if I turn, you see my compass heading change. And put the autopilot back on. And then to the left of the compass is a turn and slip indicator, they call it. It lets you know, it helps you sort of make a turn without losing altitude is maybe the best way to think about it. Or make a turn without losing, or as efficiently as possible. That's a better way to say it. Huh. I have not flown this high on this new map that I have yet. And I like it. We're going to add some texture today to the map. So I'm not sure how, oh yeah, and all of these feet and hands are fully animated and articulate according to the control surface. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the map that I have is a map of North America. The concept that I'm going to work with on this game, there was a Wizard Jam game made by, I'm going to mess up his name, Henrik Hermans, I want to say. He goes by Hankey on the forums and maybe on Twitter. but there was a Wizard Jam game that he made a while ago called In Search of Paradise, and you were just driving a car on an endless, I think, procedurally generated desert, and you would drive it until you found like an oasis of a gas station or something, and then you just keep driving. And it actually got some good recognition because it was a great game, great little game, and some people wrote about it, and I want to say in magazines for sure, but like online magazines and stuff. Rock Paper Shotgun, I'm pretty sure, wrote about it. I don't know if PC Gamer wrote about it, but they seem like the kind of people who could have. But it's pretty awesome and impressive for a jam game. And so I am going to make a game. I haven't decided on the title yet, but maybe The Eyes in Search of Paradise. I've made 3 games now in a series that all started with the words "the eyes of," for some reasons that would only be understood by Idle Thumbs people, but I think I'm going to stick with that title scheme. And so The Eyes of Paradise, The Eyes in Search of Paradise, I don't know, something like that will be my name. But you'll be flying around the entire world, and here is North America. You'll be flying around the entire world, stopping at the locations of Idle Thumbs readers, people who have participated in Wizard Jam, and you won't be flying this plane, this little plane. You'll be flying a big plane, big passenger plane, and you will be landing at their homes and picking up the characters that have existed in their games, and you will be bringing all of the characters to some central location to celebrate Wizard Jam 10, and that will be Paradise. I don't know where that location's going to be. I'll come up with that later, but the reason that I think that I can do this and that I can actually make this game and contribute to Wizard Jam 10 is that I don't really have time to, professionally or personally, to just make a totally random game right now. And this is a 2-week-long jam, and I don't want to make anything that's so small that it would be garbage or meaningless. And so, man, that's not a kind way to say that. I don't do a good job. I personally don't do a good job making very, very small games. I don't know why, but I've just never made something that's so small and so quick that it was powerful. So I know that I would be tempted to make something bigger, and so the only way I can justify that is if I use Wizard Jam to further develop the tools that I'm already working on for my own games. And this game, or this, right now, you're essentially looking at Roger Meatball just with a map of North America slapped down. And there are a bunch of technologies that I need to make for Roger Meatball that I could develop with a game about flying around the world. I need to be able to put massive maps in Roger Meatball. That's not a thing that's been possible before, and so I'm going to lay down the architecture for that with this project. I was hoping to add another plane to Roger Meatball, or to the Roger Meatball engine at least, and this is really the only plane. This is inspired by the F-3F, which was a naval biplane, U.S. Navy biplane. That's pretty. There's Baja, California, on the left. Took some screenshots there. That's a photo mode that I was in, so those should be saved on my hard drive. We'll see. I'll tweet those out. So I've wanted to add another plane to this game for a long time, and this seems like a great opportunity to do that. because I haven't found a way to justify putting another plane into Roger Meatball proper, but for a new video game, absolutely. Also, I want to put twin engine planes in the game, and I've done most of the legwork for being able to do that, but I haven't actually implemented a twin engine plane yet. And so I think that this will give me an opportunity to have a twin engine plane implemented with the big passenger plane that I'm hoping for. I also plan to, while you're cruising around here, I plan to have you able to just turn on the radio and have Idle Thumbs episodes playing, and I have some architecture set out for just listening to a radio in the game, but it's more for communication and less for just like persistent radio channels or anything. So that will be cool, I think. And then besides that, this will be sort of like a big full game of very simple, like cruising from point to point and landing and picking people up, but it'll encourage me to make sure that that game loop seems sound. Gosh, man, this overcloud, the sky system that I'm using in this game right now is called Overcloud, and it is beautiful. Just it was a $50 plugin, and it has really been worth it. So that's cool. So yeah, I'm just hoping that almost everything that I add to this Wizard Jam game will be usable in Roger Meatball, and in my flight sims as a whole. It's all technology that I have to develop anyways. So, and plus, I think that I can very easily personalize this game if I go ahead and get some of the character models from the other Wizard Jam contributors or from their games and put them in and have all of them sitting in the back seat of the big plane together. All of these Wizard Jam characters together. I think that'll be fun. I think it'll be worthwhile, and that people will play it. So yeah, I can sort of make this. I think I can make this. A meaningful game for the community, and I think I can also make it a useful exploration of mechanics and architecture for my own projects, and that is, to me, that is the best combination of outcomes you can have for doing game jam. Because I don't have that much time to just do games as hobbies. I kind of gotta find a way to make money on this stuff. So yeah, this should be great. I'm really excited. I am going to paint this map better right now. I'm still trying to figure out how to make a stylized version of the United States that is navigable via map, but sort of makes visual sense, looks good, and isn't just, is like super condensed but still has enough like flat area to land, because right now when I just went to a topographical map of the United States and tried to replicate that in terms of like a height map on my game, the map is almost all mountains. If you want to make the mountains like exaggerated compared to the scale, the XY, like orthographic top-down scale of the map. Like for instance, this little like down here from the coast inward to that little ridge of mountains, that is the entire Los Angeles and San Diego area, and it is not big. And So I still need to make enough flat areas that aren't mountains, while also having mountains, because I have a real flight sim, and I want you to be able to fly high and fly around a mountain and have mountains obstruct views. Over there is Northern California, and that doesn't even have all of the ridges that it should have. So, part of this is going to be me deciding, as sort of an environmental designer, deciding where am I just not going to put big hills and stuff, and that makes sense, and that's not a skill that I've fully developed. Yeah, I would like, for instance, I would like you to be able to fly up to the Washington area and find Mount Rainier. That's a noticeable mountain. I want over here the Rockies to look like Rockies. They don't right now, they're too smooth, too big. But then, yeah, I also want major metro areas, so you have places to land, but also because that's where most of the Wizard Jam people are going to live near, and I need you to be able to land and pick up their characters. So there's a real gameplay incentive for, or design incentive for having those places. Or having those sort of mellow features of the map as well. So I think it's mostly going to come down to, instead of just looking at a topographical map and putting mountains everywhere where it seems like there's mountains, picking a few, like I'll pick the Grand Canyon and I'll make the equivalent of a Grand Canyon in the game. I'll pick the Rocky Mountains and I'll just make a line of tall, sharp mountains, and that'll be it. I'll pick something like that big green mountain right there is Mount Rainier. I'll pick Mount Rainier and I'll make it, and then sort of less around it, and most of the map then can maybe be kind of flat, with just certain places having exaggerated mountains, or certain individual mountainous features being exaggerated. Okay, that's enough playing. It's nighttime now in the game. I'm going to take a real quick few-minute break and check on my son, and I'll be right back. Hey, goofball. Oh, you're going over there? Oh, I wish I could go over there, but I gotta work, bud. Hmm? You can go watch Cars. Are you watching Octonauts? Do you want to say hi? Come here. Yeah, that's Daddy. That's Daddy. Ah! Yeah, it's Daddy and Charles. Can you wave? Can you say hi? Look, the camera's right there. Say hi.
Hi.
Is it fun? Are you on the camera?
Hi.
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 I don't think anybody's watching us. We'll see. Let's see.
Okay,
Hey! Oh! Say hi, Ben.
Hey.
Say hi, Ben.
Hi.
Hi, Ben. Oh no! Don't press any buttons. Oh, you being a goofball?
Hi.
Hi. Do you know where Charles? Do you know where Ben lives?
I said pipe and I because
Oh, playing in cars.
I play patrol.
Oh, you played with Nick, and he has a patrol car. Car patrol car. Yeah.
Like truck. So I like truck.
Oh, and you want a truck? Nice.
So, and a great truck.
And a gray truck?
And a real truck.
A real truck.
Wow.
Oh.
Delicious
This is coffee.
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 I want to try it.
You want to try it?
Okay.
Oh, it's very hot, buddy. How about no? Sorry. You can try it next time, okay? Can you say next time?
Wow, what the else?
Uh-oh.
Should be hot.
Uh-oh. Where are we going to put this? Whoops. Right there. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, pig. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, coffee stick.
Bye-bye, sit.
Charles, can you ask Ben how he feels about...
Bye needs to pick cars. Bye needs to pick cars.
Hmm?
Bye needs to pick cars.
Ben needs to play with cars?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Ben does need to play with cars. Do you think Ben likes cars? Yeah?
Goes down, it goes out. It goes down, up and down.
Oh, it goes up and down? Okay. Ben's car goes up and down? Ooh, Charles, look. Ben just wrote a car.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's coffee. Look right there. What did Ben write? What is that? What's this?
It's a couch.
What? That's not a couch. What is this?
It's a car.
It is a car. Ben wrote you a car. He heard you talking about cars and he said car.
Oh, dinosaur.
Yes, dinosaur. Dinosaur mouse pad. Look, do you want to show this to people? Want to show this? Look. Oh, putting it on your face.
Wow, look, it's the sun. Look, it's the sun.
That is the sun.
What's a tripod?
Mm-hmm.
What's a tripod? Iris, I find tripod. Look, see it.
Yeah, you're going to show?
Oh, I see it.
You see it? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're trying to see yourself biting the mouse pad? Nope. Don't need to see that. All done. All right, you gonna go watch some knots? Octonauts? Gotcha. Uh-oh. Watch out, guys. Whoa. If you want, buddy, you can grab your cars and bring them in here and play. Okay? Daddy's gonna keep working now. Yeah. No.
No.
No. I gotta keep working. Oh, come on. Yeah. Do you want to work with me? Uh-huh. Okay. Come up. Let's work.
Watch cars. Especially, I can watch cars now.
Oh, no, we're not going to watch any cars right here. We're going to work right here. Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to the scene. Can you say scene, Charles?
See,
Scene. There
a
you go.
sign.
Stone.
Sun. Oh,
God.
look.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
it's a sun. My grandma.
Oh, yeah, that is the sun.
I said that. So, why does this so? What's that so? What does it so? Well, look, it says so be cool.
Yeah.
So be cool. Look,
So we're
see,
gonna try to
it's
paint.
in the office.
Try to
That's
paint
the
these
office.
mountains.
Let's
So,
go. That's the office. That's cause
do some stuff like this.
outside.
Let's see if we can get
She's
something
with
that
the
looks
sun. She's
a
with
little
the
bit
sun.
more
She's with the sun. Look, she's
believable.
with the sun. She's with the sun.
Yeah?
She's with the sun. What's here?
Yeah.
What's with the sun?
See the what? The window?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I see some with the. Wow, look, there's a coloring.
Yeah, we're coloring. You're right.
The coloring.
Yeah.
What's the try
Can you say video games?
Try
Huh?
What's a try
Yeah. Can you say video games, buddy?
Begins.
Video games. Can you say video games?
One. Whoa, what's color?
Yeah. Look at us coloring.
Whoa, it's for the one. It's a big one. It's like the one.
Oh, a big one and a little one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Us.
Hi. Who are you saying hi to?
I'll say try it. I could try.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You're getting a bunch of cords stuck around you. Come on, man. Okay, 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 okay. That's
better.
oh, that's better.
That's better.
Okay.
Wow, look, see.
Yeah. Here, do you want to play with this?
Look.
Okay. You can play with that while Daddy paints. Is Daddy coloring? Oh boy. This looks horrible.
What is it? Looks.
It's really
Oh.
horrible. This is all blending and it's not supposed to. Okay, buddy. You ready to get out of here? You ready to go watch Octonauts? Huh?
Let's eat it.
You gonna go watch Octonauts?
Let's eat it.
Huh?
No.
Alright, here you go. Up, down. There you go. Yeah, Charles. Hey, hey, hey. So shader's kind of broken and only uses 4 colors. It was only designed to use 4 colors. It's not mine, it's somebody else's. And I need to probably try to expand that, see if I can get it to use more than 4 colors. But I don't know anything about shaders, so I'm going to save that for later. And right now I'm going to change or fix my altitude gauge. Altimeter probably. Yep. Okay. Altitude equals airframe net transformed at position to y. Airframe, we're just going to go want to make this flexible so I can drop it in anything, but maybe that doesn't matter so much. Here. We'll just on start protected public world shifts origin. If whoops. What'd you do? Did you get the Nintendo? Do you want to get the Nintendo to watch Cars? It's out there. No, Daddy's not going to get it. You're going to get it.
No,
yeah,
I want to. You might get it.
Okay. If you don't want to get it, then you just don't have to watch any Cars. That's fine. I have a shifting origin manager. So if there is one of these in the world, it means that the world is using a shifting origin. Okay, bud. Come on. Cut it out. Cut it out. Hey, 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 hey. You have to let me work. Yes, you have to let me work. If you let me work for another 20 minutes, then we will go to daycare. Okay? We'll go to Anna's house in 20 minutes. All right? And then you can play with trucks.
Nanas?
Yeah, we'll go to Anna's in 20 minutes.
Nanas?
Yep. We will go there in 20 minutes, but you have to wait for me. Oh, Ben asked what my plans are for Wizard Jam. Ben, I am going to make a Wizard Jam game in the Roger Meatball engine. It's going to be called either The Eyes of Paradise or The Eyes in Search of Paradise, something like that. And it'll be my own spin on Henrik Herman's In Search of Paradise, and instead of endlessly driving a car around a world, you will be flying a plane around the entire world. Yeah, the finality of The Eyes of Saga. You'll be flying a plane around the entire world, a passenger plane, and you will be landing at the location of all the Wizard Jam contributors over the years, and you will be picking up their video game characters, loading them up into the plane, and transporting everybody to the Wizard Jam 10 Wizard Jam X party. And that will be paradise. So I don't have a ton of time to make a unique Wizard Jam game. So if I make something in the Roger Meatball engine, I'm sort of, you know, leveraging tech I already have, plus adding to the engine that I have to be making anyways. And this project kind of perfectly aligns with some of the stuff that I immediately have to make. I have to make the ability to have really big worlds, which is what I'm doing right now with this shifting origin thing. I have to figure out how to design terrains that are big enough to work with a flight sim that operates at realistic flight sim airspeeds. So big enough to be compelling when you're flying between 100 and 300 miles an hour. Makes you cry when you play it. It's gonna make me cry when I finish it. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier on the stream when I was sort of like walking through my ideas, but this jam and the people that have made this Wizard Jam community over the years are what got me motivated and confident enough to finish projects, what got me a job, and I'm sad to see this Wizard Jam 10 being the final Wizard Jam. Seems like it's marking sort of a stage in my life, or me shifting stages in my life. So that's exciting, but that makes me sad. And yeah, I'm sad that we won't have this. I'm just sad to not have the same connection to that community of people that I had. So yeah, it is bittersweet. So I'd like to make something that is that acknowledges all of those people. And also, I'm not very good at making games that are tiny and focused and fully unique. My brain doesn't operate that way, so I wouldn't be able to make something like that. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just gonna make a big flight sim. And I'll put Idle Thumbs episodes on the radio, and hopefully it'll be a nostalgia trip for everybody who's been spending 5 years building and contributing to this community. And yeah, I think it'll be cool. Plus, it'll actually be the most ambitious realization of the Roger Meatball engine to date, so it also serves my professional purposes. Alright, so instead of altitude just being a raw Y position on the airplane transform now, since the world origin shifts, I need to actually add in the world origin point. So yeah, radio is such a good idea, I know. I already have a radio in Roger Meatball that you can toggle around to different channels, and it's for navigation, but I'm just going to repurpose that and use it for audio. So I'll have it so you can toggle the different channels and possibly listen to different episodes or different aspects of Idle Thumbs audio, whether that is episodes of the Idle Thumbs podcast, or I should have a music channel that's just all Chris Remo's Idle Thumbs music. Yeah, and that should also help with the sort of idle time of flying around the world, because I think I'm going to make this world pretty big. So flying around the whole world might take you like 20 minutes real time, unless you're using sandwich mode at 4 times speed, and so in that case like 5 minutes. But yeah, hopefully people can. I think that In Search of Paradise was cool in that it's a Zen driving game. And so I would like to make a Zen flying game that people would be comfortable flying around in for an hour, and loading it up with Idle Thumbs content is a pretty easy way, I think, to trick people into forgetting that my flying game is really simple. So no, oh, will the sandwich also fast forward the radio audio? I was thinking that would be a bad idea. But I don't know. If world shifts origin, shifting origin manager dot, do I have a static function to get origin? Yeah, origin center position. Equals plus equals dot y altitude. What the hell is that? Why does that let me do? There. You know what? Yeah, I should just get the y value of sea level. Public static float sea level y. Whoa. Return dot m origin center position dot y. Okay, I think I have to do a minus equals right here. We'll figure out pretty quickly. Okay. All right. Hopefully this just works right out of the box. Don't expect it to. Here we go. So to get it to work, I just need to fly long enough for the world origin to switch, and then watch my altitude. And my altitude's already less than 0. So, oh boy, it just toggled. Now represents Jesus. Oh, 0, 0, 0 now represents that. Minus equals. Okay. Yeah, we just need to do plus equals, not minus equals. I keep messing up which coordinate system this output, or that output value represents. Yeah, so Ben, think about which of your game assets you're going to send me for a Ben Wilson game. Okay, so this is This is working, except that the altitude value seems wrong. Now represents. Oh, no, it's not wrong. It's right. So the little dial is 100 values. The big dial is 1,000 values. I don't ever fly this game that high, so my son is screaming. We're just going to wait for the origin to shift again and see if we're around 2,000 altitude. Yeah, we are. Okay. This works. Yeah, so that little dial is hundreds of meters. And, or sorry, the long needle is hundreds of meters, and the thicker, shorter needle is thousands of meters. So we are at 2,200 right now. Ooh, that shift was jarring. Okay. Here we go. Alright, I am hitting my hour now. That was an hour. I think Charles is really bored and needs to go to daycare, so I'm going to send him to daycare right now and come back and do real paid work. And I might take a break around lunch or something and pop back on and stream some more of this because it's pretty fun. I gotta figure out how to not get those jumps to happen. I don't know exactly why they're happening. It happens when I shift the world origin, and so I'm moving every object in the world to bring the plane back to 0, 0 position. And probably do that in a more optimal way anyways, so that you're not back to 0, 0 position, so that you are like sort of in a spot that makes sense based on the direction that you're moving, so that maybe if you're continuing to fly in a straight line you have longer to go. But yeah, I actually really like pizza box. Shoot that pizza, yes, I need that, and I will make sure that your pizza box, it will be a humanized pizza box. Send me some of your your particle effects, animated text. The Ben Wilson juicy effects. Man, there have not been enough Ben Wilson juicy effects in my life lately. Barrel roll. Send a sweet menu. Yes, send me a menu. That's exactly what I need from you. Just a chunky, I'll just give the menu legs. I'll just have the menu animating itself and walking around with legs. My God, if you could animate a menu and put legs on it, and I'd put it in my game. Yeah, so this is North America, and I think flying around it sort of feels like you're covering North America. If I, make the graphics and stuff better, but I think people could play this for a little bit with idle thumbs in the background and finding a runway down here. For instance, right ahead of me is Lake Michigan, which means that we are right now up passing over Minnesota and about to cross into Wisconsin. And, well, we're actually in Canada at the moment, but now we're heading down south, and this is now getting down to Wisconsin, which means my house is right around there. So I would put a runway down here, and the player would put down some wheels, landing gears dropping. Uh-oh. Have I lost both my wheels? Oh no, they're still there. Weird. don't see them. Drop my wheels and let's check our altitude. I think, man, I really need to add. Something for contrast on the ground. Did I just land? I think I just landed. Yeah. Alright, we landed. There are no shadows, so that's one thing that's got to get fixed.
Some more nuts.
Oh yeah, more knots?
More nuts.
But we are landed, and we are landed in Wisconsin, so ideally I would just have a... Ideally, I would have a runway right here with my characters from my game, and you would pick them up. You would pick them up, and you would then put up your power. And take off. Put up your landing gear. Oh yeah, those are magnets. And off we go. And then next, I might, here we're going down around the southern bend of Lake Michigan, over Gary, Indiana, over to South Bend, my original hometown. Heading up here into Michigan, where Nick Brecken is from. And if we go right up through Michigan, we're going to get up into the Toronto area. Right over the border here, you can see that connected. We're going to get into the Toronto area, and that is where Richard Walsh lives. Wild fun. So now I would go and pick up one of Richard's characters. And then I'd land and stop and probably head over to the Massachusetts area, and which is right up there. Go over to Massachusetts, land there and pick up somebody from Chris Mayer's games. And for Massachusetts, I could do an Amelia Earhart and head out over the Atlantic Ocean to go and land in England, where there's probably like at least 4 or 5 people from the community, including Ben and Sam Richards, and probably a bunch of other Thumbs fans. So here we're right up in the Toronto area now. It's getting dark, and yeah, I think this will make a good game. We're gonna make this game. I'm gonna fix the map and add some landing spots and see how that works. Okay, cool. That was a good sort of planning session and opportunity for me to get my thoughts to work. Ooh, doing a dev commentary thing. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes, I will do that. We'll definitely do that. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Oh, you know what? I do know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to do exactly what I was doing right there, but I'll just make I bought an asset to do volumetric audio. So I'll just do a dev commentary volumetric audio thing. So yeah, when you fly everywhere or anywhere, I'll just link audio files with dev commentary according to different points on the map. It's a great idea. This is fun. I'm actually excited about this project. And I'm going to be able to use every piece of this in Roger Meatball. So that's good. That's good. It's the best kind of a jam project. Okay. Thanks for watching, Ben. I'm going to take Charles to daycare before he really loses his mind. He's playing with some rare earth magnets right now. So he's fine. Oh, Charles loves Mr. Bones. What you doing, goofball? Ooh, look at all those magnets. Show me. Show me the magnets.
I found it.
Yeah, you found it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're cool, aren't they?
I found it.
Yeah, you're playing with it. All right, can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Can you wave bye-bye to Ben?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Ben. He's up here. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.